Oh, look at that. We're live for another Keen Adventure Hour. This is Monday, June 29, 2026. Hello to X Rumble and Bitchu. Hello to Lurkers and Bots. Hello to the chat. Hello to George.
Greetings. Greetings, everybody.
We stream every night because stories are real, but the news, they be fake.
Oh, yeah.
Before we jump in, be sure you get your copy of The Immortal Mass, a 200-page indie created and published project by yours truly on my website, Dinales.com, CriticalBlast.com, Amazon.com. If you want to support indie and self-published creators, please go to Dinales.com, CriticalBlast.com, and I have it on Amazon because it's a wider reach than my websites. All right, George.
Greetings. And what is this? Looking like this.
So this is Chibi Reviews, important censorship news. The KIDS Act has been passed within the House for the U.S. It received major bipartisan support with 267 to 117 votes. This will change the internet as we know it. The KIDS Act is a package of around a dozen bills that pairs a revised Kids Online Safety Act with new verification, age verification, AI chat box, and messaging rules, forcing the entire internet to implement age verification checks.
Wow.
So, this is basically, hey, we're going to do what we're said we're not going to do, but going to do. So, your information get leaked online because to verify, you got to give your personal information. But, it's okay. Nothing happens bad online.
Oh, no, absolutely not.
Nothing happens when they try to use tools for online, right?
No.
What's this? Oh, do not give your Discord your ID. ID photos of 70,000 users may have been leaked, Discord says, along with their private information.
And weren't they begging for your ID a little while ago?
Yeah, they were.
That didn't age well.
Yeah. Also, so and then they also was adding sensitive ID and personal information that also got leaked. So this is like, your photo, your personal information, your things been all leaked. Outline, crazy.
Wow.
So when they say, "Oh, it's to protect the children," no. If you're a parent, right? If you're a parent, you should be protecting your kids from online.
Yep.
Be a parent. Orwell Day. Flock cameras employees were caught using them to spy on little girls. So apparently, in this town, there was a flock camera that was stationed near a little girl's Georgia, Dunwood, where they said, "Hey, why is the flock camera in the children's children's gymnastic room?" Crazy.
Flock employees have been accessing the cameras of a children's gymnastics studio in Georgia. Ben Jordan reported on this, and he has been reporting on not only the gross misuse of these cameras, but also their huge security vulnerabilities, demonstrating how hackable they are. The city council happened to be voting on an extension and expansion of their contract with Flock just days later. So I went with Ben to Dunwoody, Georgia, to attend a public hearing and city council meeting. And at this point in time of the meeting, Ben's reporting had been seen by over 1 million people. They're aware that the cameras in the children's gymnasium of the Jewish Community Center are being viewed by Flock employees. And so Ben, at the very beginning, we got there early, at least 15 minutes before the meeting, he put in a request to speak during public comment. I put in a request 5 minutes later. My name was called to speak, but Ben's never was. So they intentionally skipped over Ben's name and called my name, and I don't even live in Georgia. And then after public comment was over, we all kind of looked around like, okay, so they're not going to call Ben's name. And then the mayor publicly attacked my comments specifically. Later in the meeting, the city council voted unanimously to extend and expand their contract with Flock. They didn't even say, we're going to take time to pause and investigate how this could have happened and maybe make some modifications to the contract. No. They clearly wanted to silence the voice in the community who exposed how Flock operates and move forward with their contract with Flock anyway. At this point in time, Bob Carter, who is the guy who logged into and accessed the gymnasium camera and no other camera, has scrubbed his entire social media presence, but the Attorney General, who is running for governor of Georgia, posted saying randomly how great Bob is of a guy. So what the hell is going on here? There wasn't a
Kickbacks. See, it's becoming obvious because this is what they've been doing the whole time. The Flock camera hasn't been a thing. Flock is just think of Flock as a prop to be in your face so you can realize what's going on because, people are not subtle with, we have better technology to spy on people. The Flock is a prop used to say, hey guys, this is what your government, the bad elements of the government's been doing for a very, very long time. And this was Orwell Day.
Kickbacks.
Sawyer Merritt, here are the X money transfer, deposit, withdrawal, X card limits. You can request higher limits. Transfer on X, no limits. Wire, $75,000 per day. $250,000 per 30 days. Checks, $40,000 per day, $75,000 per 30 days. X card, you can purchase up to $25,000 per day, and you can do a cash withdrawal, $2,000 per day. Deposit, bank cards, no limit. Checks, $20,000 per transaction, $20,000 per day, $40,000 per day, 30 days. Cash, $990 per day, $4,500 per day. Withdrawal, bank cards, $5,000 per day, $15,000 per 30 days. Checks, $25,000 per transaction. As right now, you can earn a 6% annual percentage yearly on all eligible cash you have on X money. No limit, no holding period, no minimum balance in. Require that 6%. So this is the initial offering that Elon's saying, to be your financial processor.
Is this any good? I don't know. You tell me.
It's actually pretty good compared to a lot of them, especially that you don't have a holding period.
And this is tweeted out by Elon.
Let me see. This is part. You see, monthly. It pays. Accrue interest pays monthly. Is there a way to get on X money? X is slowly opening up to premium plus subscriber first. You get invited by X directly. No special way to get in or list. You don't have to update your app. X money will appear on the sidebar of your X app. So this is part of your premium.
Okay, but who tweeted this out?
This was Sawyer.
Who's Sawyer?
Let's see. Tesla, SpaceX investor, model year, EVS space tech. So apparently this is the gentleman right here, Sawyer Merritt.
So is this guy full of shit?
No. He says it's part of the premium plus.
Things that make go.
Well, you get tested, and if you have the money, you have the money, right?
Yeah, but right now it's only the rich people that get this access.
Uh-huh.
Remember what we talked about?
Yeah. Only the rich people, because only rich people can spend $250,000 a day.
Yeah.
Us poorers can only shake 2 nickels and a dime.
Yeah.
It's like, oi, if only I had 2 nickels and a dime, I could do better. All right. So last night, George, a couple of things were happening. Mario, heavy arrests reported inside Iraq capital, Green Zone, today. The name of Baha La Nori Zad La Jabi Muhana Al Sarai Allah Sakor Muhammad Al Kabori Hassan Al Kafiji Aldu Karim Al Sadani Abbas Al Sadani Muhammad Al Sadhud. No official confirmation yet, but nevertheless, a purge under the new Prime Minister Ali Al Sadi is clearly intensifying. So apparently, the new Prime Minister is saying, "I'm going to get rid of corruption now while I have the power."
Okay, so who are these people?
These are now formal. We're currently Iraq politicians, now currently prisoners. Apparently, the new Iraq prime minister is taking a page out of President Bukele to get rid of his all the corrupt politicians in the country.
Okay, so Iraq or Iran?
Iraq.
Wow, we haven't heard about Iraq in a long time.
Yeah, so the new prime minister in May, many assume he would simply become another Iranian-influenced caretaker in the country alongside corruption's outside influence. Instead, Baghdad woke up today with something almost unexpected: a sweeping anti-corruption crackdown targeting senior official political figures and billions of dollars in fraud. It got him so spooked up that many politicians are trying to flee the country. The timing of the crackdown is also significant. Over the recent month, Washington has quietly shifted its approach to Iraq and Syria, emphasizing stability, sovereignty, and regional normalization rather than perpetual military involvement. Trump has made that repositioning a central feature in his Middle East policy, with the presidential special envoy Tom Barak playing an increasing visible role in encouraging internal security, reform, investment, move that. Okay. Investment in stronger state institution across the region. While today's operation is entirely Iraqi, carried out by Iraq's own counter-terrorist service without U.S. military involvement, it unfolds against a backdrop of renewed American support for a stronger, more sovereign Iraq state. Reports suggest the investigation has uncovered up to $50 billion of corruption and fraud, with arrests extending into the parliament, the oil sector, and some of Iraq's most powerful political network. If true, this would represent the most dramatic anti-corruption operation since the fall of Saddam Hussein. With Parliament in recess, lawmakers cannot rely on parliamentary immunity, and that windows may prove divisive, which is why I said he's pulling a Kaylee. Among those reportedly caught in the investigations are senior officials connected to Iraq's oil sector, where corruption has drained tens of billions from the country's wealth over 2 decades. One figure reportedly arrested Anand Jamali, general manager of the North Oil Company, for allegedly issuing fraudulent tenders. Supporters see it as something as Iraq has desperately needed for years: a prime minister willing to confront the political class. And then continues like blah, 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 blah. But here you go. You have him, you have this recording of troops going into politicians' home and rounding them up.
Wow.
So, hey, so it's a distraction, George. Here's the real cleanup. Hey, focus on Iran, George. Focus on Iran. Don't look at Iraq while we're cleaning up Iraq and Syria. So the real cleanups are happening around it. It's a targeted wave, George. Nothing's happening. Why is Iraq still fighting? Why are they doing this? Because while everybody's focused on that theater, nobody's focusing on this, George, on this operation.
Holy smokes.
And then these are the politicians that he's been arresting and rounding up for corruption.
So this is like a Knight of a Thousand Swords again.
Yeah, exactly.
Jeez.
I'm telling you, he's pulling a Bukele, because that's exactly what Bukele did to get El Salvador all cleaned up. Blind Goth Girl. X Money is a debit card. Debit card has drawbacks in their liability issues if you are a victim of fraud. True credit cards are better protections.
Damn it.
Yes.
I was looking forward to being X'd. Having X money.
X Money. X gonna give it to you.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah, I would say the same thing as a former debit fraud claims analyst. Colonel Tom Watkins, you left out the PepsiCo Anaconda Freeport mining. They all paid the Nixon administration to overthrow Aldent. They didn't just interfere once. The CIA was able to keep them out during the previous election in the 60s. The second time, they weren't successful at election interference, so they simply moved not to coup mode. I think she moved to coup mode. This included assassination of equivalents of our CJCS, tens of thousands of dead via torture, all courtesy of the CIA and their USAID disciple. Remember, it was PepsiCo meeting in Dallas, November 21st, 1963, that brought Nixon's to Dallas. So this is a Ty Pinto. In the early 1972, nationwide syndicate columnist Jack Anderson exposed a plot between CIA and now ITT, now currently known as AT&T, to undermine Chile's political economic situation. In response, CIA began Operation Mudhen, targeting Anderson in the U.S. ITT, now known as AT&T, has sought to block Al Dente's inaugurations, a military coup, or Chilean, sought to block it, stage a military coup, or cause a Chilean economic collapse. While these operations were initially unsuccessful, Aldente was unseated and died in a coup led by General Augusto Pinochet in September 1973. Former DIC John McCone was on the ITT board. So, Washington merry-go-round. The Washington Post, Tuesday, March 27, 1972. Memos bears ITT try for Chile coup by Jack Anderson. Secret documents which escaped shredding by the International Telephone and Telegraph shows that the company at the highest level maneuvered to stop the 1970 election of leftist Chilean President Salvador Aldente. The paper reveals that the ITT dealt regularly with the Central Intelligence Agency and at one point considered triggering a military coup to head off Aldente election. These documents portray ITT as a virtual corporate nation in itself with vast international holdings, access to Washington's highest officials, its own intelligence apparatus, and its own classification system. The paper bears a variety of security label, including confidential, system confidential, and personal and confidential. The original presumably were shredded along with the many sacks of documents that ITT has now admitted destroying to keep them out of our hands. Nevertheless, we have obtained copies. We show that the ITT officials were in close touch with William V. Broad, who was then director of the Latin American division of the CIA clandestine service. They were planning together to create economic chaos in Chile, hoping that this would cause the Chilean army to pull a coup that would block Aldente from coming to power. The ITT CIA ties. The ITT director, John McCone, himself was a former CIA head, played a role in a bizarre plot. He received confidential report on October 9, 1970 from William Merriam, vice president in charge of the ITT Washington office. Today I had lunch with our contact at McLean Agency, a CIA, and I summarized for you the results of our conversation, wrote Miriam. He's still very pessimistic about defeating Al Dente when the congressional votes to take place on October 24th. Approaches to continue to be made to select members of the armed forces in an attempt to have them lead some sort of uprising, no success to date. Practically, no process has been made in trying to get American business to cooperate in some way so as to bring on economic chaos. GM and Ford, for example, says that they may have too much inventory on hand in Chile to take any chances, and that they'll keep hoping that everything will work out all right. Also, the Bank of America has agreed to close its door in Santiago, but each day keeps postponing the inevitable. According to my source, we must continue to keep the pressure on business. The plot to bring a military coup by applying economic pressure is spelled out in a confidential telex dated September 29, 1970, to ITT President Harold S. Janine, from his Vice President E.J. Gerardi. Here's Gerardi's description of the plot. 1. Banks should not renew credit or should delay doing so. 2. Companies should drag their feet in spending money, making deliveries and shipping spare parts, etc. 3. Savings and loan company are in trouble. If a pressure were applied, they would have to shut their doors, thereby creating pressure. 4. We should withdraw all technical help and should not promise any technical assistance in the future. Companies in position to do so close their doors. 5. A list of companies was provided and it was suggested that we approach them as indicated. I was told that of all the companies involved, R alone has been responsive and understood the problem. That the visitor, evidently the CIA, William Bro, added that money was not a problem. He indicated that certain steps were being taken, but he was looking for additional help aimed to inducing economic collapse. Next day, Gerardi sent a memo to ITT Washington of the office telling of advice from a anti-El Dente source in Chile. Keep cool, don't rock the boat, we're making progress. This is a direct contrast to what Brody recommended. The memo says, I will call you later to discuss HSG's ITT's president reaction to my telex and some details. He agreed with me that Brode's suggestions are not workable. However, he suggests that we were very discreet in handling Bro. We'll publish further details about this bizarre CIA ITT conspiracy in a future column. Footnote, a CIA spokesperson would make no comment, refuse even to acknowledge Bro's identity. We had to verify this from other inside sources. At this writing, ITT has not responded to our questions. And then from the declassified CIA documents, Mulhan, at the direction of the DCI, surveillance was conducted of Jack Anderson and at various times his legmen, Brett Humes, Leslie Witness, and Joseph Spear. Okay. Let me see. Okay. Let's see. From February, 15 February to 12 April 1972, in addition to the physical surveillance, an observation post was maintained in Sattler Hinland Hotel directly opposite of Anderson's office. The purpose of this surveillance was to attempt to determine Anderson's sources for highly classified agency information appearing in his syndicated columns.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. As a correction, ITT did not become AT&T, separate communications company. Well, you're correct. ITT divested its telephone business. AT&T grew out of Bell. Thank you. Yep. You know, you don't even know what these companies grows out of anymore.
Well, that's what someone would say if they didn't want anyone to know. Yeah, we were never part of them.
Yeah, we weren't part of them, and they weren't part of us. We weren't part of
Yeah,
anyone.
yeah. We just came into existence, the normal way.
Yeah,
Immaculate conception.
from antitrust.
Yes.
All right, Mac Van Swole has awful news. Sadly, 4 people has passed away after widespread flooding in Kentucky collapsed building and flooded roadways and trapped people in their homes. Please pray for these people. This looks absolutely horrifying, horrific. So yeah. So, and I don't see anybody talking about these floods.
They don't want to talk about the floods.
There's no floods here. There's no floods there. There's no flood anywhere. Bridget. Ferget. Amidst all the Democratic fraud, don't forget that Obamacare is guilty of what's now been discovered as a 47 plus billion in complete widespread missing money fraud in just year one alone. Obamacare, or the American Affordable Act, is bankrolling most of the DNC and Uniparty swamp since USAID has been cut off to them. The DNC is heavily dependent on it. That's why Democrats tried to shake President Trump down for the $400 billion more in Obama subsidies. They shut down the government over it and blamed President Trump for the shutdown. Liberals need to realize that the Democratic Party masters will never give us free universal health care despite their fake promise to do so, because these elite wouldn't be able to steal our taxpayer dollars through their corrupt insurance company that would cease to exist. Also, corrupt corporations are poisoning us on purpose to give us cancer, which would have to stop doing it because none of these elite. Blah 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 blah. Okay, and then she posts Fox News business. All right.
Obamacare. Congress's watchdog, the GAO, found massive systemic fraud in Obamacare. $21 billion potentially in fraud in just 2023 alone. 58,000 dead people got $94 million, but Obamacare was why Democrats shut down the government last month for 43 days. They want $400 billion more in subsidies. The Senate votes next week on a Democrat plan to try to get that spending. Luke Usier from Senate Budget, Kansas Senator Roger Marshall. Senator, you've been all over Obamacare fraud. How can Democrats demand and justify more money and spending? And let's go through what the GAO...
Simple. The same reason that Fox News gets advertisers.
Did you notice how their graphics swish?
Swish. Yeah.
They really love their graphics.
Yeah. We have to show the graphic for the people who don't really understand.
Yeah, we got to do the swish.
Swish. We're moving to the next page. Swish. It's so you can feel that virtual, flipping of a newspaper that you would have had, long time ago.
Yes.
But now you don't have newspaper because they've gone out of business, most of them.
You got to feel the swish.
Found 97,000 double dipped and got at least double or triple the coverage. Obamacare gave out coverage without requesting documents. They gave out 190,000 separate instances of unauthorized payouts, fake identities. They still got Obamacare. So they were getting these tax credits with fake IDs and dead people's Social Security numbers and more. What do you think, Senator?
Well, the GAO confirmed exactly what we were expecting. And another example is that one Social Security number was used 125 different times. So as we expected, there's probably $35 billion of fraud. The reason that we were kind of tipped off is only about a third of the people on Obamacare actually filed a claim with their insurance company. So these were ghost patients. And by the way, most of these were not paying any type of a premium. They had a $0 premium thanks to the enhanced subsidies. So the bill that we dropped today is going to address these issues. It's going to require a real ID. It's going to require some type of biometrics. It's going to require those people to actually make a monthly type of payment so that they see something coming out of their real checking account.
Is it now an extinct species of any Democrat who cares about the public purse, who cares about taxpayer money?
That's an oxymoron because there never was a Democrat that cared.
Yeah.
I'm talking about a politician, of course. Colonel Tom Watkins, this is especially interesting This is an especially interesting variation of the SPLC situation. One has to wonder just how much every hate crime is even real. You live in a matrix created by evil people to keep the red and black ants in a jar, hating and fighting each other. None of it's real. Tim Anderson, the rising tide of anti-Semitism scam exposed once again. Florida prosecutors seek significant prison term for Israelite Michael Ron David Kadar, convicted of making thousands of hoax threats against Jewish community center, schools, and airline. What?
Oh no!
The Israelites convicted of 2,000 plus global anti-Semitic attacks now
I'm not buying it.
facing
It's all
court.
fake. I tell you, fake.
Fake. This is all fake. Don't fake. It's a fake
Big,
out,
big
George.
out.
Oh, here we go. Vastgrad 24. Iraq police has released picture of some of the money's dollars they have found in the home of pro-Iranian Shiite MP Alia Nasafi last night. She has been one of the most famous MP in Iraq's Parliament Anti-Corruption Committee. That's a lot of money right there.
Holy smokes!
Yeah. Looks like the head of the anti-corruption was corrupt himself.
Sacrilege.
Yeah. Shadow of Ezra, a city in Oregon was forced to permanently remove its Flox camera after audit found that the federal agency has access to the system. The audit revealed that two federal agencies could access the data, including the ability to search the broader network of license plates record for up to 6 months. Flock cameras are used as mass surveillance tool under the guise of public safety. Duh, that's always been the case.
It's for your safety.
It's
We
for your
just want to
safety.
know your every move. That's all.
Yeah. Well, George, if you want another reason to live in Japan,
No,
I
no.
get.
I'm very happy with all the reasons that we've got so far. Why?
A Japanese capsule toy company is making tiny PC parts they can collect and bill. Tarlin has teamed up with ASRock, Gigabyte, MSI, and Intel to create a small, realistic PC component that fits together like a real desktop PC. The first collection includes 3 different motherboards from ASRock, Gigabyte, and MSI, Intel Core Ultra processor, a PC case, and power supplies and case fan. The parts are not just for display, you can actually assemble them together to build a miniature PC, making them more fun than regular capsule toys.
Wait, are you telling me you can create like a microcomputer?
Yes.
But it's powered just like a normal computer.
Yes. And it's a capsule. Basically, you go to,
So it's like a this would be considered the Hot Wheels of a standard normal size car.
Yes. And it's in a capsule where you get your those toys capsules. So
Wow, if they do a Macintosh that big, holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking I go like, yeah, it was that Macintosh $10,000. Yeah, sure, no problem, man. If I can pick it up, and I don't have to sweat the weight on it. Oh,
yeah. DC Drano, Europe is starting to ban AC for 2 reasons. One, to kill. This is DC Drano's comment, not comment of the channel or any of his affiliates, which is not. 1, to kill old people with heat stroke who use up all the tax dollars in social life medicine. 2, to make everyone feel hot and miserable so the global warming scam feels more real and it can pass more taxes increase. These globalists are truly evil.
Yep.
Apple lamps. Colombia threw out the failed Socialist Party terrorist Gustavo Petro and elected a real president. The new president, it says, I'm going to issue the order on August 8th to begin fumigating the more than 330,000 hectares, hectares of coca crops, which are the original source of all forms of violence. So he's basically saying, I'm going to destroy all the coca crops of the cocaine variety. I'm going to give the order to bomb all the narco-terrorist camp using available technologies to minimize the impact on civilian population. But the bombings are coming back. I will also instruct the commanders of the Air Force, the Army, the police to shoot down any aircraft loaded with drugs in Colombia. I will take responsibility for that. In addition, I will order the sinking of all boats that leave through the Caribbean, the Pacific, or the Gulf of Urabá. The peaceful protest is protected by Constitution. Anyone who wants to peacefully protest may do so. But whoever blocks roads, attacks infrastructure, tries to attack public security forces, or harm the life and honor or property of Colombian people will find out how hard the tiger bites. This isn't whether somebody is indigenous, black, white, or anything else. Anyone who goes to cause chaos and attack members of public security will face my iron fist. He's like, I've been taking notes of El Presidente Salvador.
But President El Salvador has been taking notes from Presidente El America.
Oh, okay. So now you know where the source is. It's just another effective way to. Don't be surprised if Colombia starts joining to be part of the American Shield, George. You know?
Yes. We need to protect ourselves from the enemy.
Yes. All right, this is from Discussing Film. Comcast will spin off NBC Universal into a separate public company. The new NBC Universal will include Universal Pictures, NBC, Telemundo, Peacock, Bravo, Sky, in the theme parks. So, George, why would Comcast spin off this property?
It's very simple. They're about to dump, what we call assets. Well, no, not assets, liabilities. They're about to dump liabilities. That's what's going on.
So, who's making more money, NBC Universal or Comcast?
Comcast.
Okay.
They're the ones that are dumping the liabilities.
I see.
There's no other way to look at this. It's like Rachel Maddow, she's on her way out.
Well, yeah. Well, they're not even associated with NBC. Remember, they lost NBC. That's why they're missing out.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, NBC just took them already. They're no, that they no longer associated or connected with NBC. Bull theory: Samsung, SK, Hynix, and Micron are getting sued for engineering the memory chip shortage. The lawsuit filed on June 25th in California accuses the three companies of using their pivot to AI memory chips to cover the cost production of regular DRAM, the memory used in everyday laptop and phones. The DRAM prices have risen up 500 to 700% over the past 4 years. Micron reportedly shut down its consumer DRAM brand, Crucial, at the most profitable price point in history. A move that lawsuit calls economically irrational unless it was coordinated. Lawsuit points directly to Apple's recent price hike on iPads and Mac as evidence that the damage is already reaching consumers. This isn't the first time. Between 1989 and 2002, Samsung, Hynix, Micron, Aphelion, Alpedia ran the actual price-fixing cartel confirmed by U.S. federal prosecutors. Samsung paid $300 million criminal fine, Hynix $185 million, and Aphelion $160 million, with several executives serving real prison time, sentencings ranging from 4 to 14 months. The new lawsuit alleged that Samsung and SK Hynix later rehired and promoted some of the same convicted executives to senior roles. So they didn't learn their lesson. Now it's just a slap in the hands.
Yeah, petty cash.
Together, the three companies control the vast majority of the global DRAM supplies today, and a single new DRAM factory costs 15 to 20 billion takes a year, making it nearly impossible for new competitors to break in and undercut them. That's the core problem that this lawsuit is targeting. These company has total control over the market everyone depends on. The same company already convicted once before, now faces the same accusation. Again, while prices keep climbing and ordinary buyers have nowhere else to turn. Jefferies don't expect any release anytime soon. Prices are forecast to climb another 40 to 50% next quarter, then another 30 to 40% on top of that quarter, meaning roughly the price will double by year's end. 2027 is to bring another 40 to 45 increase on top of that, with no real normalization expected until 2028. And unfortunately, you can't do anything because Samsung is Korean, SK Hynix is Taiwan, and Micron is I don't know where Micron is.
Doesn't matter. This is a perfect example of why stuff has to be manufactured inside the United States.
Yeah. So that's why Trump was like, I'm bringing them all back. I'm bringing them all back. They're going to love it here or else. Colonel Tom Watkins randomly stealing and he just got lucky, or somebody is playing a party. The materials that this gentleman stole can be used for kinetic energy penetrators, KEPs, or armor-piercing projectile tungsten. Heavy alloys are widely used as dense cores or rods in long-run penetration for tanks, main gun ammunitions, anti-armor missiles, and artillery. Large cannibal anti-tank weapons. These replace or supplement depleted uranium in modern system because of similar density and performance. 2. Tungsten's carbine cores and small arms and medium caliber ammunition. Tungsten's carbonite penetrator cores are used in armor piercing, rifle, machine guns, anti-marine rifles, etc., etc. Why is we're talking about this? Maybe Danielle posts, Deepak Kumar, $3 million equal 40,000 pounds of tungsten oxide powder. Greenfield arrested a man Saturday who they say they stole near $3 million in cargo of tungsten oxide powder.
That guy's just manufacturing paper cups. What's the big deal?
Yeah, he needs all that dust oxided powder.
Yeah.
For reasons.
Yeah, all these fast food companies, they need their paper cups.
Right.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Gee whiz.
Come on, man. Sometimes you want. Scottish Wire. The Supreme Court ruled that the police conducted a Fourth Amendment search. Let me reframe that. The Supreme Court ruled today that the police conducted a Fourth Amendment search when they obtained data through a geofence warrant, holding that the people have a reasonable expectation of privacy in their cell phone location data. That means that a lot of court that are using that information, the tracking like flock cameras, or using your other sensor, are now Fourth Amendment protected, George.
Oh no!
That means that all these states, including my own, who used to pay for flock, are now unconstitutional by the court.
Oh no!
Man, that blows. Another scheme from the government with taxpayers' money wasted. If only they could do their job properly.
Oh. Oh yeah.
Here it goes. I almost got you. Scottish Wire. In a 5-4 vote, the Supreme Court ruled that the federal law does not require mail-in ballots to be received by Election Day, holding the state may count ballots postmarked by Election Day, but received it afterward if the state laws allowed it. Basically, they said, you guys made it legal for that to occur. If you don't want that to be legal, go change the law. So they're kicking the bucket back to Congress to fix. Because I know they're all saying, "Oh no, look, it's going to cause more fraud and all that." No, no, they said, "Congress, go fix this shit. This is your job, not ours."
Yep.
SCOTUS, in a 6-3 vote, the Supreme Court rules that the president may fire the FTC commissioners at will, overruling the Humphrey executors and holding that the FTC for cause removal protection violate the constitutional separation of powers. This is amazing work, George. You know why?
He's got control of the Fed now.
No, this is the Federal Trade Commission, but no, it's the removal of the Humphrey executioner doctrine.
What is that?
This was basically a landmark Supreme Court decision in 1933 that says that the U.S. Congress may limit the power of the President of the United States to fire certain government official, even though
they limited the power of the president to fire people.
Yeah, this was
who the fuck is that's bullshit.
This is Humphrey Executor versus United States. 295 U.S. 602 1933, and this
Holy
was
shit.
Yeah. So basically, this is a good thing because it's removing decades long barriers of presidents unable to fire people in their own agency because of this stupid rule. It's like the Chevron. This is a game changer. This is a landmark case, George, that's been reversed. This is almost a 100-year-old decision that's been reversed.
Well, that's great, but at the same time, the Supreme Court said no, people can vote after after voting day.
No, they said that it's not against the federal law to have postmarked. So if you submit a ballot that's postmarked before the election day and is read after the election day, it still counts.
Oh, so it has to be before election day.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
but they're saying, hey, if you want that to be illegal, you Congress, the federal Congress, right, need to pass an amendment or fix it. Because it's not our job to do so. That's what they said.
Okay.
That's why.
So it's good news.
Yes, but the leftists and normal people are just reading the surface reading, which is the Supreme Court allowed for votes that are past the voting day to be accepted.
So votes past the voting day are illegal.
Right. So what they're saying is, if you submit a ballot before and it's postmarked before the election date, right? Or on the election date, but it's read after the election date, it still counts because you guys who passed the law, Congress, didn't make it illegal to do so. There's nothing in the laws that says it was illegal to do so. So if you want this to be illegal, you, Congress, need to do your job and actually make that amendment or pass a new law stating explicitly so. That's what that decision said.
Okay.
That's the plain English version of what the opinion said, but most people didn't get it. They only said that the Supreme Court allowed that people can vote after the fact, after the election day. P.S. So this is actually positive news as well, the Humphrey executor. So that means that now Trump has more control because now he's actually removed. This was unconstitutional in the first place, but we had corrupt judges because we had a corrupt president who was a communist. No, he wasn't. RFD was a New Deal Democrat. He was a communist. The Verona Project of our U.S. signal, which became NSA 95, released those documents, declassified, and showed that Franklin Roosevelt and a majority of his cabinet members were communists and were sabotaging the war efforts. That's why Stalin was getting into power because of the efforts of Roosevelt and his administration.
Well, that blows.
Yeah. I mean, gee, I wonder how that goes. But yeah, so this is actually good news. I mean, Trump can now fire people because that this law, the Congress can't do that. Separation of powers are starting to be rebuilt, George. The White House, a big win just moments ago at the Supreme Court. Big win just a moment ago at Supreme Court in the Slaughter case, confirming presidential power in our country to remove executive branch officer and agency appointees were represented under Article 2. This decision was long sought by the United States president, dating all the way back to the 1930s. It is an honor to be the sitting president who won this historic and unprecedented ruling, one of the most important ever given to the respect to presidential power. Thank you again for your attention, President Donald J. Trump. So he's very happy. He's the one who has to deal with that stupid rule.
Wow.
And then to continue with that, in light of the tremendous loss in Supreme Court today concerning voters' right, and the fact that the people's votes are allowed to be counted long after an election is over, it's more important to ever to pass the Safe American Act, which was no way coordinated with the President of the United States to pressure the Congress to pass it. All voters must show photo ID. All voters must show proof of citizenship. No mail-in ballots, except for illness, disability, military deployment, or travel. There is no excuse for a politician or otherwise to be against the above three requirement. There's only one reason to oppose cheating. The House of Representatives has approved this vital act 3 times. The U.S. Senate seems to be unable to do so. In a time when there is a powerful communist movement taking in our place, or our country, one more dangerous than World War I, World War II, Pearl Harbor, or September 11, all Democrats and our 5 Republican Senate holdouts, Lisa Murkowski, Susan Collins, Tom Tillis, Bill Cassidy, and Mitch McConnell, must vote to save our country. These are no longer excuses. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. It sounds like, remember, George, Trump has made the election a natural security situation as infrastructure.
Yeah.
That means that if this isn't done, he's going to declare an emergency and he's going to activate the anti-communist powers that have been passed, and we read a couple shows ago. So there you go.
So what I'm hearing is that the National Guard is probably going to come in and ice the elections ballot locations.
I wouldn't be surprised if that occurs, George. Hey George, wouldn't that be like military control then? That the militaries are making sure that the election is being conducted accurately and fairly?
Yep.
Just like, returning from military control to public or civilian authority. Makes you wonder. Colonel Tom Watkins, all true, but it completely ignored the complicity of the United States oligarchs that were part of the attack on the United States. This could never have happened without the U.S. business owner complicity and Congress passing of the necessary laws and past presidents selling out the country. No amount of foreign pressure changed America. America did it not only to usher in the destruction of our country. No, they're not Americans if they're trying to know if an American did it not only to usher destruction of our country, they're no longer American, they're enemy combatants. Colonel, you should know that. They're traitors. They're no longer Americans. Which is why another reason for birthright citizenship is such important.
Aren't they supposed to be ruling on that shortly?
They were supposed to release the ruling today, but then they decided, we're going to blue ball you guys and make you wait till tomorrow.
Son of a gun.
Yeah.
unless they pay a big price, and the big price is tariffs. And he'd speak like that, but he was right.
This is Trump when he was being interviewed by Joe Rogan during the 2024 presidential election.
And then around in the early 1900s, they switched over stupidly to, frankly, an income tax. And you know why? Because countries were putting a lot of pressure on America. We don't want to pay tariffs. Please don't. You know, they, believe me, they control our politicians. If you look at the kind of numbers that these guys make then and now, but we had a commission meeting in the, I think it was 1887. Think of this problem. We were so rich, we had so much money, we didn't know what to do. So they set up a blue ribbon commission on tariffs. And the sole purpose is what to do with all the money we had. We were so rich because we were taxing other people for coming in and taking our jobs. And China does it. That's what China did. If you want to open a factory and sell cars, if you build a factory here or have a factory, they don't take our cars. They wouldn't take our cars. But if you build a plant in China, you can do that. Elon did that. By the way, Elon is great. That guy is such a great guy. I think you're a fan of Elon. Him. He is from a different planet. He's the greatest guy. That rocket coming.
So there you go.
We don't want to pay tariffs. Please don't you?
Let's see. So, show Intel President Donald Trump revealed on Joe Rogan what he believes the real reason Americans still pay federal income taxes. Trump says foreign countries pressured the U.S. to abandon tariffs while politicians went along with it because they were serving foreign interests instead of Americans. In the early 1900s, they switched over stupidly to an income tax. Hey, George, you know, isn't it funny it took a ship called the Titanic to destroy all, or to have all of the opposition killed?
Yep.
Isn't it also funny that slowly, the reason why we're in this situation is because a central bank was enacted?
Yeah, it's called compound interest.
So, if you remove the central bank from the system and you bring in tariffs, I wonder what would happen.
Economic stability.
Exactly. There would be less reason for inflation to happen because because you wouldn't be paying interest on a debt.
Yeah.
Because you would have sound money.
Yep.
I mean, think about it. When you're isn't that funny? It's like, I'm giving you money to pay my debts. So think about that statement for a second.
Yeah, it's a nutty statement.
Yeah. Rev Response 47. The Cook lawsuit having to do with her suability in sitting on the board of Federal Reserve was sent back by the Supreme Court on a strictly procedural basis. We will take the appropriate action immediately to make sure that someone who committed wrongdoing will not be making vital decisions concerning the welfare of the United States of America. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald Trump. What he's talking about is today the SCOTUS ruled that the president cannot fire Lisa Cook, who's on the board of the Federal Reserve. Why? Because he didn't do it correctly, procedurally. He has to give an explanation why she's being fired, give her a chance to appeal, and then you can continue letting her go as normal. But you didn't do that, so you need to go and do that, and then you can let her go.
What? You know more about procedures than the president?
I don't think so. I think the president is teaching the American audience the convoluted mess that is limiting his powers. He's probably showing, why can't you fire this person? Why can't you do this thing? Why is this always happening? Trump is showing you, hey, this is the hoops I have to jump through to make something happen. Because in the last 100 years, they made it so this happened. So if you work with the system, this is a great cushy job. But if you try to actually do something for the American people, they have all the roadblocks 6 ways to Sunday stopping you. And I'm slowly stripping them one by one as fast as I can. George?
Holy shit.
Yeah. So slowly he's breaking the chains of slavery and crying freedom.
Yeah, sounds like a Mel Gibson movie.
Yeah, it's called The Patriot. Have you seen it?
Yes.
Okay. Wall Street Apes, Springfield, Ohio residents says that the illegal Haitians that were imported under Biden administration were then hired by Dole and paid $12.50 per hour. He confirms American citizens were fired to hire these Haitians. I have found confirmed local reports they were hired. They were imported for cheap labor to take American jobs. I also confirm American citizen agricultural workers typically get paid $15 to $22 per hour in Ohio. So hiring these illegal Haitian and importing the TPS Haitian on minimum wage saved Dole a lot of money. Booker T. Jones. Did Springfield resident used to work at Dole? Yes. So they have lost their jobs to the Haitian. Yeah, a lot of them have.
Yeah, we covered that story.
Springfield, a Haitian invasion.
Yeah, but here's the thing. You know why those Haitians could survive on $12.50?
Because they like eating the cats and the dogs.
That's true, but the other part is because they were getting free health care and they were getting free housing.
Their existence was subsidized by the government?
Correct.
So that's why they can work for a fraction of the price of a normal American?
Exactly. Now imagine you get rid of all that subsidized welfare to those Haitians, to those all illegal immigrants that are here, right? Guess what? Then they can't survive on $12.50. They'll have to go to the price that regular Americans have to face with. Guess what? It will not become beneficial and incentivized for the company employers to have those illegal aliens anymore because it's no longer cost effective.
Oh, that sucks.
So now you understand why why the Democrats and all the politicians are fighting so hard to keep all these people on welfare. It's because a lot of these companies are using slave wages for a fraction of the cost to have their margins. But if these are pulled and taken away, guess what? These people can't live there. Those people will have to be either get a real job, meaning they have to come out, leave, and come back as legal, or go back to their country because the employers won't be able to afford them.
Oh boy.
That's what I was saying like about a month ago, is that these illegal aliens are being subsidized. That's why they're a slave. So if you ever wonder why are these illegal always getting subsidized healthcare and blah blah blah, because if they get subsidized healthcare and housings, that means that the employers don't have to pay them higher wages to cover those costs.
So the scales were tipped.
Exactly. Just like trade. The tariffs or the taxes is subsidized welfare to the country, to the world. Remember, George? Us being taxed is subsidized welfare for everybody else. Us tearing enough is basically everybody else paying us. Or leveling the equine field, basically.
Wow.
You know, once you start seeing the root causes of these I guess, line of powers, you start realizing, but it's so obvious. It's only obvious because you're now having a moment to breathe, think, and look at it. If you weren't able to do so, and you're working to survive, feed your family, feed your kids, feed your parents, or yourself, making sure everything, and you don't have time in it, you're trusting the government is not going against your best interests, because the system at this time has been exploitive, meaning that they're purposely making you to work harder so you don't feel comfortable and you don't feel you have enough time to sit and study what's going around you. It's been purposeful like that. So until you figure that out and you're able to calm down and look at everything from your local, because your local politics are more affects you more deeply than the national politics, we're going to still be in this mess. Jessica Royas, old History Channel clip that hit hard. Let's watch this old History Channel clip.
Looking for oil in the ground. I found 26 oil wells over a 9-state area. 100% of the time was accurate with just 30 watts of power beaming straight into solid rock. HARP uses 1 billion watts beamed straight into the ionosphere for experiments. Picture these strings on the piano as layers of the earth. Each one has its own frequency. What we used to do is beam radio waves into the ground. It would vibrate any strings that were present in the ground. We might get a sound back like, we'd say, that's natural gas.
So
wow. HARP actually figures out where the stuff is? Wow.
Yeah, this was in the History Channel back in the day, George. Now you understand why they quickly bought the History Channel and started making it all conspiracy and all nature those real reality shows or whatever they put on.
They needed to change history.
Yeah.
Might get a sound back like, we say that's crude oil. We were able to identify each frequency. We accomplished this with just 30 watts of radio power.
30 watts of radio powers. They could find all the natural resources. So what are they doing with 1 billion watts of power?
They're making the planet go out.
If you do this,
fly into the universe
with 1 billion watts, the vibrations are so violent that the entire piano would shake. In fact, the whole house would shake.
Wait. With 1 billion, it would cause the whole house to shake?
Sure, why not? Let's go with that.
You would cause earthquakes?
It sounds fine to me. More.
In fact, the vibrations could be so severe underground that could even cause an earthquake.
You all get an earthquake.
1987,
Oh shit! They accidentally discover how to create earthquakes?
Yes, 1987.
Oh, holy smokes! And it's on the History Channel.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
So now you know why they had to buy the History Channel. They had to change. They couldn't have something like this to keep showing. This is informative. So what if some Joe Schmo's watching the channel and it's like, what do you say? Wait, we learn how to create earthquakes? Are you telling me Lex Luthor from Superman is able to make earthquake?
It comes back to reason that the frequency of the frequency. What was it? Tesla said that he knows the frequency that can destroy the Earth.
He who knows the frequency knows the universe.
Holy shit!
We arrived in Roseburg, Oregon, to use our ELF technology to search for oil and gas.
Oh, you know who had a recent 5.5 earthquake just yesterday?
Oh, come on. Venezuela?
Oregon.
No way.
Oregon.
What does Oregon have to do? Oh, they got oil, don't they?
But no, Venezuela also, yesterday, Caracas had a 5.5 earthquake in Caracas as well yesterday. But Oregon had an earthquake as well. So, if this was found in 1987, how hard is it to send a drone that can do that and just trigger massive earthquakes? That feels like atomic bomb, 286 tons atomic bomb has exploded on the on the city.
Holy smokes!
We're starting to see geothermal warfare, George. We're starting to see now. I don't know who. Here's the then becomes the next question: if this is true, and the attacks on Venezuela and Japan and the Philippines and all the other places has been occurring, right?
Yeah.
Who's been initiating that? Is it the good guys or the bad guys?
Yeah, it's the good guys.
These conditions are already set up in the ground. All it takes is the activation energy to make the release happen. This is a small scale.
Using 30 watts.
These buggers perfected the art of geo destruction.
Hey, George. Now you start wondering, if they can do with this earthquake, what about hurricanes? What about tornadoes? What about every natural disaster in the last 40 years? You know?
Yep.
What about the flash flooding, George? Flash flooding. You know, that's science fiction. Why would we do that? Why would they attack the citizens with that? Well, citizens were getting too comfortable. They were actually rising above their means. We need to bring them down, make them worry, make them fearful, make them focus on paying the insurance bills, paying the house insurance, paying the property tax, repairing the things, George. Oh, we need FEMA. We need FEMA money to come into this place, so we give a little bit to the people, and then all the rest of the money gets converted back to our pockets, George.
It would be very simple for the Trump administration to figure out who's doing the chemtrails, who's doing the earthquakes and all that stuff. But why don't they stop it?
Hey, George, you did see the Supreme Court, right? Where he has to jump through a lot of hoops to fire the people, right?
Yeah, but this is crimes against humanity.
Yeah, but still.
And people die because of these things.
Right. People die. Die every day. George, you have to understand, this is war. We're in World War III. We're in a 5th generation war. These are all the tools that you're starting to learn that our enemies are using against us. If we let them know that we know that they know, guess what? More devastation will happen.
So they know, and we know, and everyone knows.
Exactly. So I need all the people to know, because the moment people know, they you can't do it. It's to build
I guess we now know.
Yes. Massimo's posted this. They wrote, inhaled vitamin D could help treat lung disease by delivering vitamin directly into the lungs. For years, scientists have studied vitamin D in patients with chronic lung conditions such as COPD, asthma, cystic fibrosis. Low vitamin D levels are common in these individuals and are associated with reduced lung function, increased infection, and more frequent flare-ups. Oral vitamin D supplement has repeatedly failed to produce meaningful improvements in lung function, flare-ups, or quality of life in clinical trials. Researcher from the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill and the COPD Foundation suggested the delivery method may be the main limitation rather than the vitamin itself. When taken orally, the vitamin D is processed by the liver and circulates in the blood. It appears to be inactivated by the enzymes in the lung blood cells before reaching significant levels in the airway tissue. This process may explain why higher blood levels of vitamin D do not always lead to better lung health. Research proposed inhaling or nebulizing vitamin D straight into the airways. Preclinical trials using cells in animal models indicate that this direct approach could protect the airway linings, lower inflammations, and strengthen defense against dust, pollens, pathogens. However, these benefits has not yet confirmed in people with chronic lung disease. So this is basically a start to say, hey, we've known how to treat all these chronic things, but we're going to give it step by step and show, like, hey.
So this, in combination with the potato chip cures,
Yeah,
it's basically a slam dunk.
yeah.
Wow.
It's vitamin D, George, what your body needs.
Hey, we're not advocating this. We're not health experts. We're not doctors.
Exactly.
We're not lawyers. We're just a bunch of schmucks. Consult your doctor. What's this?
Max Rosati. Oh my God. Jacob McMillan. Unbelievable damage to a wind farm near Highmore, South Dakota after this morning's storm. So a storm of roughly 315 miles per hour swept through the area, destroying most of these windmills.
You know, if they just let the windmills stay where they are, and what do you call let trees and mushroom and mycelia grow around it, it'll be a natural habitat.
Yep.
They don't have to put this stuff into the ground. And it'll be known as the half wind farm scape.
I see. U.S. Department of Education, get your popcorn ready for a showdown tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern.
And it's very cool.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that great? Just went up yesterday.
Wow.
Think Joe Biden would do this? I don't think so. Do you think he'd think of it? Do you think he knows what it is?
I don't know. It's kind of hard when you took a shot to the head.
What is she smiling about? What was the real thing in its place?
Oh, it was the Constitution, U.S. Constitution framed. So listen to the story, George. Because we have the from WTVM newsleader, Channel 9 ABC. Murder. This is from Colin Ruggs. Murder suspect dies of a heart attack while dragging his girlfriend's body through the woods in Alabama. Daniel Robbins and Jessica Foyles, a mother of three, were found dead in the woods of Atlantic, Alabama. The deputy says they found a drag path and Foyles with her hands above her head. Police says Robin, 44, likely killed Foyles at 47 the night before by strangling her, and then tried disposing her body. While dragging through the wood, he had a heart attack and died. He died of a heart attack while doing it. Their bodies were right there together. District Attorney Mike Zagres says Robin was reportedly found in a fetal position. So basically, he killed her, and by karma retribution, she killed him when he was trying to dispose of her body, apparently.
Wow. I mean, what a beautiful love story.
Yeah.
Just like Romeo and Juliet, except not.
Exactly, not. Okay, Rana, you won't get a speeding ticket if you get the world record instead.
Mata.
How is it possible?
I love that.
Oh, this next one. Yeah, I've seen this video several times. British comedy. Okay. You know, this was a time when comics actually trusted their audience to be educated.
Yeah.
Can you give me the name of the standard unit of electrical power?
What?
A what? Correct. The famous comic actor was Mr. Will.
Hey?
Mr. Will Hay, correct. A legal question now. A man is released from prison because he has received the royal...
Pardon?
The royal pardon, correct. And what were the last words of Ludwig van Beethoven?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
Yes, they were. Correct. The name of the first Bond film was Dr... Do you know it?
No.
Dr. No, correct. I want you now to tell me the first two words of the song that goes on, Give You Anything But Love, Baby.
I can't.
I can't give you anything but love, baby. Correct. What is the English for je ne sais pas?
I don't know.
Correct. What is the standard reply of a British Rail information officer?
Oh, don't ask me.
Yes, it is. Can you give me the name?
Yeah, that's called successfully failing.
That is so good. That is so good.
Yeah, you know, it cuts off where he walks away. It's like, I don't know what you guys are doing. I don't know what I'm doing here. All right. Let's hear it.
I guess so.
Justice Thomas, can we ask who you were meeting with today?
What'd you say?
Can we ask who you were meeting with this afternoon?
What'd you say?
Who were you meeting with this
Oh,
afternoon?
nobody.
You weren't meeting with the speaker, you were in...
Oh, God, no.
So what are you doing up here?
Oh, just walking.
No meetings in particular?
I'm going to tell you about.
Tomorrow's going to be a big day at the court, huh? Final day of decisions?
Oh, I guess so.
You want to give us a sneak peek of some of the decisions?
Nope.
But you can't tell us why you're up here today. Who you're meeting with? Who are you meeting with, sir? Were you up here for any particular reason? No info on who you may have been meeting with? Anyone in House GOP leadership? That's who has offices in there. Any matters you were up here discussing? Any comment on today's decisions?
You know, I hope he says in this last 13 seconds, you'll find out.
The end of the Supreme Court term?
You have good questions.
And any comment on the end of the term?
You have good questions.
You want to answer any of them? Any comment at all? Thank
Huh. I guess we're going to expect some fireworks, whether on the left or right, or everybody's going to be unhappy. That seems like a guy's about to prank the whole nation. George?
Yep.
Inside our paper, President Trump signs presidential memorandum making it easier for Americans to fix their own vehicles. Thank you.
Really?
So basically, they were purposely making it difficult for us to fix our own vehicles.
Yep.
Now we know. Colonel Talon Watkins, again and again. Marissa Hanson. Polymark is basically Pam, which was created by DARPA. Pam was shut down 72 hours after it was launched. Mason.gmu.edu, political analysis market, Pam, and feature map archives. Pam, before the medium storm. In 2000, Michael Foster, who ran and still runs the National Science Foundation Quantum Computing Research Program, convinced DARPA the Blue Sky research arm of the U.S. Defense Department to fund research on prediction market. Starting in 2001, the prediction markets are speculative markets created for the purpose of aggregating information on topic of interest. Previously, field studies had found such market outpredicted coexisting institutions regarding the weather, printer sales, movie sales, election, and much more. This research program was eventually named Future Map, but the first DARPA call proposal went out under the name of Electronic Market-Based Decision Support. This call said, "We've heard this works elsewhere. Show us if it works for problems we care about." The call went out on May 2001 for a proposal in August, and by December, 2 firms won the SBIR grants. The winners were Neuretic Technology, subcontract Martech, and the professor at University of Iowa, and Net Exchange, founded by Caltech professor and subcontract blah, blah, blah. The Net Exchange project became to call Policy Analysis Market. Using prediction market to enhance U.S. Intelligence capability, a standard PORS 500 index for intelligence. This is 2006 Studies in Intelligence, Volume 5, Number 4, CIA.gov. LinkedIn, DARPA's PAM prediction market shut down after 72 hours. Before Polymark, there was PAM. DARPA's prediction market experiment lasted just 72 hours before being shut down by political backlash. The inside deal that made Polymark founder one of the youngest billionaires on Earth. Come on, man. What I just read is basically kind of like a How Life book. Life log was shut down and Facebook came online. Basically, Pam went offline and Polymark came out. They're all CIA, bro.
Now I see the connection.
Yeah. Perfect parking by my wife. Wow, your wife is a stunt driver. That guy's like, geez, okay, have the parking, you know? British humor. When British humor
just stop. Just go full screen.
Yeah.
That was good.
Here's another one. CBP ammo. Lost and found. If you misplaced your 1 kilogram bricks of cocaine in the Florida Keys and would like to claim it, please stop by our Key Largo's Marine Unit or Maritime Border Patrol station to pick it up. Please bring a valid photo ID to claim.
You know, there's people out there that are just that stupid.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, and then last article, this is from the whitehouse.gov. S.1003 signed to law. On Friday, June 26, 2026, the president signed into law S1003, the Lulu Law, which requires the Federal Communication Commission to issue an order explicitly permitting the transmission of wireless emergency alert to mobile phones in the event of a shark attack.
What? Is this legit?
Yes, George, I'm at the White House. This is the White House account website.
Shark attack in Kansas?
Lulu Law, transmission of wireless emergency alert to mobile phones in the event of a shark attack. Sharknadoes, George. Sharknado is real, George. It wasn't fake.
Christ, this is insane. It's awesome and insane at the same time.
Yeah. Before somebody jump in the comments, it's no, it's Lulu. Lulu Law is about the guy who got attacked by the shark and couldn't call for an emergency.
Oh my God. Can you imagine it? You know, if somebody's in the Atlantic getting attacked by a shark, and then the alert goes across the entire United States.
Yeah,
and you're like baling hay in Kansas, and he goes,
Like, Doug, hey,
"There's
there's a shark
stuck in
attacking
the
here.
Atlantic. What should we do about it? Just ignore it, dear. It's none of our problems."
Right. All right. Looks like somebody tried to cause a crash or assassination.
What's going on here?
New York Post: Blue jet plane strikes drone before landing at JFK.
What?
Yeah. So
there was an unregistered drone in the area.
948 is just past the salt for runway 13 left.
948 Kennedy Tower, runway 13 left, clear to land.
We are clear to land. 13 left. And just quickly, I couldn't talk to approach, but we collided with a drone back there in the turn as we were coming to assault. Just wanted to pass that to you.
You said you collided?
Yep, it hit us right above the cockpit.
All right, so it's about like what, 2 miles back at 3,000 feet you were at?
Affirmative. Hello, tower.
So 2 miles back should be like about here. So what is a drone, knowing that this is a restricted airspace?
No, hold on a sec. 2 miles back. You see that red line?
Yeah.
That's like 20 miles.
Yeah.
20 miles. The airport to the red line is about 20 miles.
Right.
So the drone it hit near the airport.
So, okay. So we'll say right here it's 2 miles, right?
Yeah.
So if that's the case, what is a drone doing here at a restricted airspace?
Maybe it's a restricted drone.
I don't know, George. I don't know. All right. Thank you to Blonde Goth Girl. Thank you to Lurker's Bot. Thank you to chat. George, what's your final thoughts?
Yep.
All right. We'll see you tomorrow for more. Until then, bye.
I believe that together we can make America great again. I believe